show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Bass in your face. Bass in your face.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with this channel or watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it's called Uncommon Sense is because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. And for tonight, the subscriber mode has been enabled for 5 minutes, meaning that if you're not a subscriber and you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you have to be a subscriber for at least 5 minutes. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel, whether you've been a part of the Uncommon folks since the very beginning or just recently joined. I really appreciate all the love, all the support, all of you have given me. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media, particularly Instagram and TikTok. Your continued support really warms our heart. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices and those who watch from the clouds, including the haters. So what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. If you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and set the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. So tonight, I decided to camera. Unfortunately, I'm having some problem with enabling the camera on my laptop, which is tonight I am using my tablet to stream live. Okay. I just want to also let people know that the link to join the panel has been pinned. Should anyone wishes to join the panel and express their point of view regarding the topic which will be discussed. One thing, as always, if this is your first time here, or I've never seen you before or heard from you before, I will insist that you come up in the backstage. And the reason why for that is to make sure that you do not flash anything inappropriate, which would cause the good people of YouTube to take down this stream. So as you can see by the thumbnail, the topic for tonight is the benefits of being a municipal employee. So I'm going to discuss that in a few minutes. Before we get into the main topic, of course, I'm going to have, well, before we get into, we're going to have an episode of In My Words. Okay. Now, some of you may or may not know that now I'm using a shared vehicle service to get to work and to get to my appointments called Accessorite. And the purpose of Accessorite is to provide a means of transportation for people who are physically or otherwise disabled, who due to their medical condition are not able to take public transportation. The problem is, first of all, it is a share ride, which means you have to deal with whoever will share the vehicle with you. Okay, and sometimes the other passengers can make the driver wait several minutes, and may have been made wait as for quite a bit of time. Now, 2 days in a row, I actually have to have a driver who did not speak English, who did not speak Spanish, and I had to use Google Translate in order to communicate. I did not think it was necessary. Apparently, it is. Now, I don't have a problem with people who are not native to the United States to get earn a living, but it would help if they have at least some sort of a command in English. And again, I understand that here in the United States, there's no official language, but if you're dealing with the public, you do need to have at least some sort of command of the English language. That's just my thoughts. You can agree or disagree. That's perfectly fine with me. Now, one thing I came across is something called the soft guy error. This is something that I've seen recently on social media, particularly TikTok. You know how women are making these crazy demands with men saying they have to pay their babysitter, they have to buy the jewelry, they have to buy all things that the same cash apps and whatever. Well, a group of men decided, you know what? If we're going to date you, you have to pay some of our bills. And you have to go 50-50 on dates and things of that nature. And of course, some of the women, particularly the modern women, are upset to the moon. Okay. But the way I see it is basically they're getting their own a taste of their own medicine. Okay. Now, because you have women making unreasonable demands from men, so now men decided to do the same thing. Now, actually, I'm thinking about having a discussion about it sometime next week. I will make a decision on it tomorrow. But if I do have a discussion, while everyone is welcome to opine regarding the topic, I'm going to reach out to certain individuals. Basically, ladies who are very pro women, will have very passionate views when it comes to women, and men who have passionate views regarding males. So just to see how the interaction take place. And of course, I'm going to do my best to be neutral. Okay. Also, I just want to let everybody know that the link to go to my other channel, which is called Latina Diaspora, is in the description. Okay. It's a much smaller channel that I started. And the whole purpose behind that is to talk about issues pertaining to Latinos, especially Latinos that were born and raised in the United States. We have our own issues and things of that nature. So I decided let's have a channel based, where we can discuss our issues. And of course, everyone is welcome to opine. You don't have to be a Latino. You don't have to be a Latino part of the United States. To opine, okay? But it is time that we have some sort of a discussion. Just give me a moment. Okay, I apologize. I usually don't do this. Okay. So I'm going to be doing a stream this Friday night on my other channel. Okay. Hopefully, the same audience that supported Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron will come to the other channel. And then I'm going to ask you, just give your honest opinion, what you think. Okay. So, with that being said, we're going to get into the main topic. Okay, so the main topic for tonight is the benefits of being a municipal employee. Okay, now why did I decide to have this discussion? Okay, well, the problem is there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to municipal employees, and unfortunately, the sitcoms do not paint a very accurate picture when it comes to municipal employees. I mean, they view them as being lazy, non-productive, and you know, I mean, yeah, are they lazy people who are municipal employees? Yes, but you're gonna find that in every field, okay? Whether it be in the private sector, public sector, whether it be regardless of what field of area, you're gonna find people who are very productive, and then you're gonna find people who do the very least and expecting to get their salary. That's the reality of it. Okay. It looks like tonight is going to be a quiet night. Not too many people will watch it live. Hopefully you will get it. Hopefully they will get it on the playback. So what I did was I prepared a listing of benefits of being a municipal employee. So I'm going to be discussing them one at a time. Okay. The first benefit when it comes to being a municipal employee is job security. Okay. Nowadays, with huge companies and small companies laying off employees and downsizing, especially in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, municipal government is one of the few remaining areas where you do have job security. And this is particularly to if you got your position through taking a civil service exam. Okay. Now you can gain employment without taking a civil service exam. But if you really wanted to, to make sure that you have job security, it's preferable if you take a civil service exam. First of all, once you take a civil service exam, and you score high enough on the list to be called in for an interview, of course, there's a 1-year probationary period, and then once you pass that, you become a permanent employee. And the level of protection is more extensive as a permanent employee, permanent in terms of being hired through a civil service as compared with a professional employee. Okay. The problem with professional employment is that whenever there is a civil service list for a particular title, those who are not on the list may end up losing their jobs. Okay, so working for federal municipal government, particularly through civil service, it provides you with job security. Another benefit that comes along with being a municipal employee, there's opportunities for advancement. Okay. I don't want to say best ways, but one of the most effective ways of getting advancing is through promotional exams. Okay, when it comes to promotional exams, these are exams for opportunities for supervisory and managerial positions for people that are within certain titles. Most people advance through promotional exams. Okay. Again, you have to take the exam, not only pass the exam, promotional exam, but you also have to score high enough on the exam to be called in for an interview and then being interviewed and then being offered a position. One thing that a lot of people don't understand is that just because you pass a promotional list doesn't mean you're going to get a promotion. Okay, it makes it possible, but it's not a guarantee. Okay. The next benefit when it comes to being a municipal employee is what I call due process. And let me explain to you what that means. If you are accused of any sort of misconduct, if you are accused of insubordination, if you are accused of violating um, policies, okay, if you are a permanent employee, you have what's called due process. You have a right to challenge whatever accusations are made. Also, um, if you belong to a union, you will have union representation. You have which will help defend you regarding cases of inappropriate conduct or violating policy, things of that nature. Okay. Also, you cannot be summarily terminated or fired. There is a whole process that goes involved once you become a permanent employee. Okay. Now, in my case, I have been a municipal employee for almost 25 years. And for most of that time, I have been what's called a permanent employee. In other words, I have taken civil service exams, I have passed civil service exams, and I have been hired off of the civil service list for the positions I have. Okay. Another benefit of being a municipal employee, and this applies to many cities, whether in city, county, or what have you, you will have union representation, meaning you have someone like a delegate or shop steward that will be an advocate for you if you believe that you're not receiving appropriate treatment or you're being falsely accused of violation of policies or even any type of criminal activity. You will have representation that will advocate for your defense. And if you are actually guilty, union representation will help lessen the punishment or lessen the consequences to a certain degree, depending what the nature of the offense. Okay. Now, sometimes people object because you're protecting bad employees. Actually, I don't like to use the term bad employee, good employee. I prefer to use the term employees that may need assistance. Now, the next benefit that comes from being a municipal employee, and this is also assuming that you actually belong to a union, is legal benefits. Okay, now in my case, I'm a member of the Social Service Employees Union, SSE Local 371. And among the benefits that we get is we get legal representation. Okay, and it could be anything. Okay, not just as far as a criminal case, not just as far as a civil case. Sometimes we need an attorney when it comes to adoption, or acquiring a home, okay? Because if you are purchasing a home, uh, you're going to need a team. You're going to need a real estate agent. You're going to need an attorney that will assist you through all the legal obstacles that will occur. So another benefit, and this is with many unions, is legal legal benefits. Another benefit is educational benefits. Now, what do I mean by that? Depending on the union that you belong to, you may want to further your education. Okay, so there may be scholarships that you may apply as a result of belonging to a union. Also, there might be some courses that you wish to take, whether it be learning a second language or a marketable job skill. One benefit is, of course, educational benefits. Okay. And of course, with every union, the educational benefits will vary. So please bear that in mind, because not every union is the same. There are some unions that have very extensive educational benefits, and there's some unions who don't have as extensive. So it really depends on which union you are a member. Another benefit is you get health benefits, which is basically a health plan, which is an HMO, and also with many unions, you have what's called prescription benefits. Okay. Which is very important, particularly if you're the type of person that you have like multiple health issues and you take a great deal of medication. Well, it does help when you have prescription benefits. It also helps when you have medical coverage, when you go see the doctor, or whether you see a specialist. Okay. Because medical coverage can be very expensive. Okay. And there have been people that have been wiped out because of medical debt. Okay. Whether it be because they're fighting cancer or have some sort of childhood disease which require a huge strain on your resources. Okay. So that's another benefit that you get from being a municipal employee. Now, I know there's certain people who talk about it's better working in the private sector, working for companies. Okay, you might make more money in the private sector as compared to working for municipal government. But bear that in mind that while you're making more money, guess what? You're paying more for your medical coverage. And sometimes you're talking about hundreds of dollars per month. So that's the trade-off. While in municipal government, you may not make as much as people working in the private sector. However, the benefits equal things out. Another benefit that you will get as a municipal employee, and this is in many unions, is a pension. Okay. Of course, we all get Social Security. Okay. Whether you're 62 or the reduced rate or 67 or what have you. Sometimes Social Security is not enough. So, thanks to unions, we get pensions, okay, of which you will receive a certain amount after you retire, okay. So with a pension and with Social Security combined, you'll be able to live your retirement a little bit more comfortably, okay. which is something to bear in mind because when you retire, you're on a fixed income. So if you're depending on Social Security alone, that could be a problem. And I see here we have good evening, Keshal. Thank you very much for stopping by. Okay. Now, the topic for tonight is the benefits of being a municipal employee. Okay. I get. No, I know that you was an employee and whatever. We don't want to get into you know that situation because it wasn't pleasant. But what I'm doing is I'm just discussing the benefits of being a municipal employee, and I have been fortunate to be a municipal employee for almost 25 years. Now before I continue, let me just illustrate. Okay, I think I have a guess. So before I continue, let me just state for the record that the views of those who appear on the panel are necessary. The host will channel. Any attempt to accompany material without the consent of the host is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to your image. Some of the views that people hold may be considered offensive to some viewers. If you do not like the channel, you can block the channel. And now I'm just going, oops. Okay. Okay.
Good evening.
Good. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Tonight I'm using my tablet to do the stream because I'm having problem with the camera of my laptop, and I decided to do cam up.
Okay, we see you, big sexy.
So, so the topic for tonight, the benefits of being a municipal employee. Now we know you was a municipal employee, so you might have a different perspective. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
Well, I'm gonna keep it pretty and clean and cute and talk about my positive experiences. So, do you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so I definitely had some positive experiences as a municipal employee. I had the opportunity to be a part of a union that really embraced and supported me when I worked in a Bronx office and got me the opportunity to be a co-chair on a health and wellness committee with the office. And I met a lot of members, of course, the five boroughs of New York City, and we did workouts and exercises and talked about challenges and meal plans, and that was very inspiring and valuable for the workplace. And I didn't have to spend any money, and neither did the members.
Okay. I just want to let everybody know that the Mo Show is in the chat. Good evening, Miss Mo. Thank you very much for stopping by.
Hi.
And if you have not done so, please check out her content and subscribe to her channel. I mean, it's a little tongue in cheek, but you know what? It's never boring over there. So
I will be subscribing to the Mo Show when I jump on the channel.
yeah. So now I've been a municipal employee for almost 25 years. So, I'm just sharing some of the benefits as far as being a municipal employee. One of them is job security, particularly if you were able to gain it through civil service.
Absolutely. I currently have an opportunity to work with the city, but I'm a temporary employee, but I'm still in a city environment. And there's a possibility of me being a city employee pretty soon, depending on certain situations. So I still have a part of that city environment currently with me. So that's still good because I remember a lot of it.
Okay. Now, of course, there are among the other benefits is opportunities for advances for promotional exams, union representation, also health benefits, because we all know that prescription and healthcare are two expensive things.
Absolutely, definitely. Those are definitely some great benefits. Some other great benefits that I remember when I was a municipal employee, like full time, getting all those incentives, like there's the support option, for family medical leave of absence if you're sick or have to take care of a loved one with a disability, or you have that security of being able to take time off intermittently, or for a period of time without having to worry about again losing your job, like Jose said, that job security. And sometimes you may not have vacation time or sick time to pay you while you're out, but you'll be eligible for this FMLA thing where they'll help you and understand your needs, and they'll support you upon you presenting the proper documentation that they can verify is accurate and not falsified, of course. So that's great because life happens. People get sick with C19 and cancer and alcohol abuse. All kind of things happen in life, to our family members, our loved ones, and certain things out of our control. So knowing that you have that kind of support, is great with the job.
Yeah. One benefit that we have as in our local is we have a crisis intervention program where local 371 members, if they're dealing with a personal crisis of some sort, maybe they have some personal issues, or maybe they have some mental trauma, or they're dealing with a death in the family, they're able to speak to 371 members who are licensed social workers, and they are provided short-term counseling.
Yeah, you know what? Transparently, there's not a lot of people watching right now, so great. I definitely participate in the EAP program. I don't know if it's with the union or the agency, but there's a program they have with the city of New York for your municipal worker. It's called EAP. It's a place you can talk to someone about things that are going on with you personally, mentally, physically, emotionally. If you're stressed out, depressed, whatever the case is. And that was great to have the opportunity to, have life happen and go through adversity and be able to get paid to take time off to go see someone who can give you therapeutic or positive advice on life or support you. And I've never had that in another job before, so that was pretty dope. And I don't think I would have had that anywhere else but through the city. So that was dope. They got this thing called EAP, and it's really helpful for people that go through life and feel like they may want to unalive themselves, or going through something that they feel like they can't get out of. Like they'll help you talk to someone that can help you.
Yes. I have participated in EAP and in the crisis intervention program of our local. They've been very helpful. Of course, as a welfare fund trustee, we are provided with reports to people who are taking advantage of the crisis intervention program. Now, among some of the other benefits that we get is, of course, we get paid holidays, we get paid vacation days, and paid sick days.
Yeah, who doesn't want that? Because right now I don't have all of that as a temporary employee, but I'm not complaining. I'm so humble and grateful to have an opportunity, to provide for myself and my family. I'm not going to complain, but yeah, that's a great opportunity. Another thing I wanted to mention real quick is the opportunity to be a union rep and be a part of these galas where you have fun and get dressed up and be at banquets and have great food and drinks and music and meet people. I've met Mayor de Blasio once at a union event, and I think who else did I meet? I met some other, politicians or celebrities that I thought I would never meet at a union function, being a municipal employee. So those were dope experiences, like really, really fancy, fly, fun events that I didn't think I would have as a city worker.
Yeah. Now, of course, I've been a union rep for about, in one capacity or other, for about 16 or 17 years. I'm also have been a welfare fund trustee for 10. So you, as far as union participation is concerned, you get what you put in. Okay. Now I understand people may not always have the time to participate in your activities because they're dealing with, they're dealing with home, and they're dealing with their families and what have you. Okay. but it is there for members, if they at some point decide to participate. Now, one thing that's very important is that, as I stated, we get paid holidays, which now I think now as a city employee, I think we have 13, which the last one was added, which was Juneteenth. Also, you get paid vacation days. Now, of course, that's going to vary with when you started working for the city and how long you've been working for the city. And let's follow Jetlock's advice and get the legs up. Okay. Now, in my case, I've been a municipal employee for almost 25 years. So I get the maximum, which is 27 paid vacation days plus 12 sick days. And then I get like a personal day. So it all adds up.
You're lucky too because some people don't get those opportunities. It takes a while to build that all up. So that's great. You have enough to sit back and relax and throw in the air enough hours of time.
Yeah. And also, what is a benefit is that as a municipal employee, if you have to go on medical leave because you have a procedure that needs to be done and you're going to be away for a certain length of time, it's the security in knowing that once you fully recover, that job is waiting for you.
Amen. Because again, all these jobs don't provide all those incentives and benefits. So that is definitely like a good thing to discuss because that's real. That happens. Like that's
And,
facts.
and believe me, it's been a few times when I have to go on medical leave, because I have a condition that requires my immediate attention. Of course, I'm going to be taking a medical leave of absence in the end of June regarding my knee, which of course you are aware, and some of the other members of the uncommon folk is aware. But it's really a blessing knowing that I will have the time that I need to recover, and then when I come back, I don't have to worry about losing my job.
Absolutely, because a lot of people don't have jobs, are looking for jobs. I was 7 months without a job, and it was stressful. It was very, very stressful.
Yeah, believe me, I can test. I've been unemployed, so it could be very demoralizing when you're used to getting out there every day and earning a paycheck. It could be a humbling experience. Now, another benefit, and of course, with many unions, there are scholarships if you wish to pursue your education, because we all know to pursue a college education is extremely expensive. I mean, you have people who take on a huge amount of student loan debt because they got loans to pursue their education, what have you. And sometimes the amount of loans can equal almost like actually buying a condo or an apartment or a house.
Absolutely. Like that's another great thing you just brought up too, because I just thought about the time I took a loan from a municipal credit union bank, and because I was a city worker, I got like some kind of advantage to getting the loan for me because I was a municipal employee. So that's another thing too, like joining certain municipal branches or banks. Like you may get advantages or incentives to be a part of certain clubs. To bank with and get opportunities for loans because you're a city employee, like or something like that. So those are good things too.
Yes. Now, among the other benefits of being a municipal employee is principal. You've got prescription benefits. You also get dental benefits. Okay. Now, if you're the type of person like myself that takes a lot of medication, those prescriptions can cost you a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely. It reminds me that I was a part of that city program where you can get reimbursed it for your medical expenses or your child care expenses. You had a bill. You had proof you were paying a child care or provider, or like, you had medical expenses that your insurance didn't cover. There's a program the city offers if you're a municipal worker. You can get reimbursed and you can provide, proof that have these expenses.
Yeah. Which reminds me, and you actually kind of helped me remember this, is that our local has a child care subsidy, which they provide 371 members with a partial subsidy regarding child care for children under the age of 13. And what they receive per year is $300 for one child, $400 for two children, and $500 for three and above. Now, of course, we all know $300 or $400 or even $500 is not a great deal of money when it comes to childcare, because we know childcare can be extremely expensive. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of our municipal employees are single parents. Okay, but at least it does provide a little bit of a help as far as paying for some portion of the child care. Your thoughts?
I agree. I definitely participated in that incentive where I was able to get some support from the union for childcare. So yes, although childcare is expensive and it's not like a great amount of money you're getting, every little bit counts and is really helpful because again, not every employer offers these types of incentives. So I definitely agree.
Another benefit that we get is called short-term disability. Now, sometimes you'll have to pay to get this benefit, but what it does provide is it does provide you like some sort of an income while you're on medical leave, because you don't know what expenses that you might incur when you're on medical leave, whether it be because of prescriptions, whether it be maybe you need certain equipment, or defray some of those costs. Um, Also, our local does provide a uh, short-term disability. Again, it's not a lot of money, but it's $200 per week for 34 weeks. Of course, in order to get that benefit, you have to use up all your annual your leave time.
Okay, I don't think I know about that. So
Well,
interesting.
well, actually, okay. Originally, it was 26 weeks, but what we did was we created a pilot program where temporary, instead of collecting for 26 weeks, it'll be 34.
Okay, very interesting. I like that.
Yes. So also, another benefit is dental benefits. We all know to go see a dentist to get simply to get your teeth clean, or things of that nature, or they get root canal work, or get an implant. That can run thousands of dollars.
Yeah, for sure. And you need to take care of your teeth, so you may need that. And again, every job is different. Some jobs, you have to opt into medical benefits that don't include dental. So yeah, that's really important.
Yeah. Also, what's unique with our local is we have what's called pension counseling. Okay, which is okay. You know you're approaching the age when you feel like it's time for retire. Now, for those of you who never thought about it, uh, preparing for retirement, it's a very lengthy process because you have to go through a great deal of paperwork, because what you're doing is you're transitioning from being a municipal employee to be a retiree. So that deals as far as your medical benefits, then deals with some of your welfare benefits, and also regarding the pension options that you are eligible for.
Yeah, really important stuff. Again, all of these incentives we're talking about tonight, ladies and gentlemen, those replay, unique, and returning viewers, this is what you get as a municipal employee. So it's definitely worth it. It definitely have its perks. If you stick around to, enjoy these things, to experience these things, you'll understand it. And another thing that I wanted to add to the conversation tonight before I go, Jose, is the opportunities, to be able to be introduced to like money markets and stocks and bonds, with opportunities to have a full 3B or a 401k or deferred compensation, and understanding and learning how your money can make money for you in the future as it grows. Like I got that experience, with the municipal employee experience in other places as well. But if you don't look at the paperwork, you make a lot of money real quick if you don't touch it or borrow from it. And that's an incentive being an employee of the city, a municipal worker.
Which I'm glad that you brought that up because, of course, I have a pension, which I was eligible to receive 4 years ago. I also There's also Social Security, which I'm eligible to apply with the reduced benefit this year because I'll make 62. I also have a 401k, so that would be like a supplement. Because again, one thing we have to bear in mind is that when we retire, we're all going to be on fixed incomes.
Yep, that's right. So you gotta get prepared for that life.
Yeah. Now another benefit, and with many unions, is you have prep courses where you can take to prepare yourself for whether it be an open competitive exam or a promotional exam.
Yeah, I definitely need to sign up for some exams.
Okay. Now, reason which is very important because particularly when it comes to promotional exams, not only do you have to pass the exam, you have to score high enough on the exam to be called for a position. Like for example, you can have some exams where you can have as many as 1,000 people on the list. Well, if you're like 999, that's not much of a possibility that you will be called in for an interview because most lists last for only 4 years.
Yeah, and that's discouraging. If you don't know the information, it's kind of discouraging.
Yeah. Which is why, and which is why um, you should not just aim to pass the exam, but try to get as a high score. Now, mind you, let me just make it perfectly clear: getting a high score does not guarantee you a promotion or employment, but it does make it more likely to do so. Okay, it's one thing when you're 10 on the list of 1,000, and you're like compared with 910 on that list.
Yeah, I've definitely been a person that took. I've definitely been a person that took an exam and didn't score high enough and didn't get called, so I can relate.
Yeah, I took an exam and I was high off the list, and I actually got interviewed. Unfortunately, I was not given the position. But I mean, which is why I'm saying, and I want to make this perfectly clear: just because you score high on the list does not mean you're automatically going to be promoted because you got to interview and you got to sell yourself.
Absolutely. That's something I did while I was out of work for these 7 months. I went to a lot of trainings and met with a lot of recruiters and took a lot of workshops on how to best sell yourself, how to show your skills, your experience, how to create an elevator pitch, how to do that and get the job or land an interview.
Yeah. Also, one thing that's very helpful, that's beneficial, when you become a municipal employee and when you become involved in the union, there's a sense of belonging and there's a fellowship involved, and we both experience that as members of SSE Local 371. Okay. It seems like, okay, I don't know what happened. Maybe Keshawn was having some technical difficulties on her end. Hopefully, maybe she'll join. Maybe she'll join the panel again. Like I said before, the link to join the panel has been pinned. Should anyone wishes to opine regarding any of the topics that we're discussing. Um, Again, like I said before, yeah, no, I get it. There's some people um, may not see themselves as a municipal employee because sometimes the sitcoms and the TV shows do not portray municipal employees in a positive light. They tend to look at them as being lazy, trying to do the least amount of work and get a paycheck. Again, as I stated, you do have in every field people who do the bare minimum to get a check, and then you have people who work very hard and they take a great deal of pride in their work. Okay, excuse me. So there's a few more things I just wanted to go over. Um, I get it. This is probably a slow night, so a lot of people, hopefully, a lot of people will catch it on the playback. Okay. So there's also individual involvement through unions. Now, one thing we have to bear in mind, and this is something I would tell anyone, um, you can be as inactive with a union as you wish or very active. Now, it is understandable not everyone can participate in any union activities because people have lives, people have household responsibilities. So it could be a challenge to be involved with a union. Okay, I would state that there are benefits. There is a fellowship, so to speak. There's also like a kindred spirit, um, something that was missed during the COVID-19 pandemic, where we weren't able to congregate with other people in an attempt to reduce the spread of COVID-19. Fortunately, things are getting better. Of course, we still gotta be mindful and careful because every now and then you have new cases going up. Um, as far as infections going here, infections going there. Okay. Also, as a municipal employee, there are many cultural events that you can participate. Now, one thing that's beautiful regarding SSE Local 371, we have multiple cultural events. Okay, so depending who you are, depending what are your interests, you can learn a great deal. Whether it be Black history, whether it be Latino history, whether it be gay pride or any sort of activity. Okay, so something. And also, one thing about being a municipal employee, um, you don't have. Okay, maybe put it this way. Um, it's open to all of you, regardless regarding what is your religious affiliation, what is your ethnicity, whether it be your sexual orientation, whether it be your disability, whether it be anything that makes you unique, so to speak. So it is an equal opportunity employer. Okay. And as him as an employee, there are certain protections. There's a great deal of protections, particularly, for example, um, working in an environment free of sexual harassment. Okay, also an environment where differences are tolerated and then highlighted. Okay, and one thing about being a municipal employee with the city of New York, we have a wide assortment of diversity. We have different, we have literally hundreds of different ethnic groups. We have different religious groups. We also have members of the LGBTQ plus community, or simply called the community because I'm sorry, because it's so many different letters to remember in the alphabet. But basically, uh, to be a successful municipal employee, you just have to love your job and love helping people. Okay, uh, and of course there are a wide assortment of areas where um, you can gain municipal employment, and it all depends. Some of them, a good portion of them, does require. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Um, Many of them do require a uh, a college education, whether it be a bachelor's degree or a master's degree. But there are some positions where you do not need a degree, and that's based on like learning a trade. Okay. Also, depending on, excuse me, I'm sorry, depending on which field. I mean, there's so many different fields. I mean, there's law enforcement, there's crime prevention, there is social services, there's like medical. I mean, there's a huge area where when you can use your job skills, to serve the community and get paid. Okay, which is something that's very unique um, with being a municipal employee. Okay, um, I didn't think that I'll be working for the government for almost 25 years, but here I am. I mean, that's something. I'll be perfectly honest. I think the majority of us never thought that we would be working for the government for any length of time. And then, see, in my case, I have a bachelor's degree in business administration, so I thought I was going to be working for, say, um, IBM or any of the Fortune 500 companies. Unfortunately, it didn't develop that way. Okay. Uh, but I'm glad that I, I was able to work in an environment where there is job security. Okay. Which is very important, particularly now where in a lot of places job security is almost non-existent. Okay. Now the question is, should you pursue a career in municipal government? Well, I think it all depends what is your motivation. Okay. Now, in reality, um, you're not going to earn as much working in municipal government as compared with the private sector. Okay. However, the equalizer is the benefit that you'll get. Okay, you'll get medical coverage, you have prescription coverage, you have dental coverage, you have optical. You also have a health plan. Okay, you have educational benefits, you have legal representation. You also get due process, which is very important. Okay, because in a lot of uh, places in the private sector, basically, if the manager doesn't like you, you're gone. Okay, it's not fair, but that is the reality that that they deal with. Good evening, Irby. How you doing? Thank you very much for stopping by. Tonight's topic is the benefits of being a municipal employee. So what I've been doing is that I've been sharing with the audience. Now, mind you, not much of an audience, but an audience nevertheless, the benefits of being a municipal employee. First of all, there's job security, which for a lot of places doesn't exist. Let's keep it real. And again, in a lot of places in the private sector, if the manager doesn't like you, you're gone. If you get into an argument, you're gone. Okay. With municipal government, particularly if you got your position through a civil service exam and you pass the list and you've gone through your probation, you have a great deal of protection. And we also get health care. Okay. Okay. Which is very, I mean, let me tell you something. That is a huge benefit. Um, Particularly if you dealing with any medical issues like diabetes or even cancer, whatever. That is a huge benefit. Okay. One thing we have to bear in mind is, okay, in the private sector, you may earn more money, but then again, at the same time, you're paying more money when it comes to your health benefits, your dental benefits. In some places, you don't get dental benefits. You don't get health. I mean, this is something. So everything equals out. Okay. Now, again, like I said before, it all depends. What is your motivation to be a municipal employee? If you're looking for an area where there's job security, it's one of the best places to work. Particularly if you got to do a civil service exam. Okay. And I've taken quite a few civil service exams. Some of them I passed, some of them I did not. Okay. Also, it's harder for you to lose your job because there is due process. So there are procedures in place to to protect you in case you are falsely accused of any um, misconduct. Okay, and of course, in many you are entitled to union representation. So these are things that are a huge pluses to be a municipal employee. And of course, not everyone can do it. Okay, and I get it because a lot of times, of course, you gotta follow directions, and sometimes you gotta deal with co-workers that can make your life or try to make your life difficult, and sometimes you gotta deal with clients that will test your patience. So you do need to have a thick skin when you're dealing with other people. And there's one thing to bear in mind also. There is a code of conduct as a municipal employee you need to comply with. Now, when I mean a code of conduct, basically it has to do with how we are to interact with other employees, whether it be frontline staff or supervisory staff or managerial staff, and also regarding uh, the people that we serve. Because let's keep it real. We're not always going to get to deal with people who act like angels. We're going to, I mean, particularly if you work in social services like I do, you're going to deal with people who have issues, people who did not uh, wake up at the right side of the bed, or maybe people going through the personal trauma. Okay, not unlike some members of the peanut gallery that we deal with. And you have to be mindful, and you gotta watch what you say because if you're not careful, your mouth will get you into trouble. Okay, and I have seen municipal employees who have lost their cool and they get into a yelling match with um, with with coworkers, supervisors, managers, and the clientele that they serve. Because one thing we have to bear in mind that as municipal employees, we need to maintain a level of professionalism no matter what. Okay, the client could be calling us you everything but a child of God, but you need to remain cool, calm, and collected. However, if you're dealing with difficult clients, you do have the option to speak to your immediate superior, explain the situation. Um, Maybe the supervisor can, um, you know, calm things down. I remember, I remember one situation years ago when I was starting out as a brand new fraud investigator. I went on a field visit with a supervisor to a client's home, and we were interviewing the client, and all of a sudden, the supervisor gets an argument with the client in the client's home. Okay, which is not a good thing. Okay, because first of all, you're in the client's home and you don't know how clients react. Okay, that's a reality. We don't know how clients react, so you gotta be like the better person and not go there to a client's home with any prejudgments or what have you. And you're dealing with people as particularly in social services, you're dealing with people with different backgrounds, different beliefs, different philosophies, and you're not there to judge. You're there to provide the services that they're entitled to. You're there to do assessments when necessary. Okay. Sorry about that. So I had to like calm the client down. And so I said, look, we understand this is a difficult situation for you right now. We're not trying to add any more stress in your life. What we are trying to do is we're trying to assist you in getting the services that you are requesting. So I was able to calm the client down, okay? Because if I did not step in, it could have gotten into a real messy situation, okay? And you do have to maintain a level of professionalism. Um, Now it's a funny story. It was not funny at the time, but I remember we did a home visit with a client, a female client, in the middle of the summertime, and I knocked on the door. Client opened the door. All she had on was bra and panties. So she closed her door. My coworker did not see what I saw. All he saw was my red face. So my coworker asked me, "What happened?" I said, "Well, I knocked on the door. There was a lady who came out. Oh, she had on a bra and panties." So then she opened the door. She put her coat over herself. I interviewed the client, and then just as we were getting ready to leave, my coworker decided to get cute and said to the lady, "You did nothing wrong, miss. You just showed yourself as the wrong investigator." I'm just thinking, what the fluff did he have to say that? That was so inappropriate. I'm glad we were not called to have that account for that stupidity. Okay. Now, why I went with a coworker? Okay, times, certain times when you do field visits, you need to go in pairs. Part of it is individual safety, and part of it is also if you are accused of any inappropriate conduct, you have someone that can vouch for your character. Another time, we go visit another female client, and in the middle of the interview, she hyperventilates. So she does one of these. So I had to do this. "Okay, lady, please calm down. We're not here to hurt you. We're here to help you." I was able to calm the lady down. And then, as we're getting ready to leave, uh, the lady made this statement. Please excuse her. This is what the lady said: "I need to get laid." In other words, she needs to engage in sexual intercourse. Now, I don't know what caused me to respond this way, but I actually said it with a straight face, which was, "I'm sorry, miss, but we cannot assist you in that area." Yeah, that was my response. Okay. I wasn't trying to be cute. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. It's just that I'm sorry. We're not there for you to engage in adult activity. We're there to do a field visit in regard to services that you are acquiring. Okay. So these are some of the things that I've experienced as a municipal employee. I'm not saying that you're going to experience those same things too, but we have heard crazy stories. I mean, I know I heard stories where Fraud investigators basically will go to the client's home, yeah, and try to get some. Now, believe me, I'm not into hanky pack. First of all, I'm sorry, no lady is losing a job um, to answer a booty call. There's more than enough ladies out there that you don't have to go to a female client for a booty call. No, okay, but no. One thing I'm happy to say that in my nearly 25 years with working as a municipal employee, I have not had one person complain about me. Okay, because what I try to do is to be professional at all times, and always bear in mind that I'm there to service the client. I am there to serve my constituency to to the to the to the to the best possible way. Okay, but enough with the stories. So basically, there are other benefits to being a municipal employee. I just decided, you know what? I'm just gonna hit the basic stuff. Okay. Now, let me just before we wrap this up, and of course, before let me just state the link to join the panel has been pinned. If anyone wants to join in and have an opinion regarding what I discussed, by all means do so. Otherwise, if there's no other comments, no one wants to join the panel, I'll start to wrap this up. Now, I will be doing a stream tomorrow night at 8:40 p.m. And what I will be discussing, what life has been since the onset of COVID-19. How have our lives have changed? So I'm going to be sharing my personal observation regarding some of the things that we had to adapt to with dealing with COVID-19. Many people have been able to adjust successfully. Others have not. Okay. And unfortunately, all of us either lost loved ones to COVID-19 or we know loved ones that lost people to COVID-19. So it required a great deal of adjustment. So I'm going to be sharing that info, giving you my thoughts tomorrow night at 8:40. And on Friday, I think 8:30 or 8:15, whatever, I will be doing my stream on my other channel, which is called Latina Diaspora. Okay. I have mentioned this before, but the whole purpose of that channel is to discuss issues as it pertain to Latinos, particularly Latinos born and raised in the United States, like myself, and what are the issues we deal with. Because we deal with issues that's very unique with us. Okay. So I'm going to be discussing that because you don't have to be a Latino to join. You don't have to, you can, express your point of view. We can agree or disagree, but in any case, we're going to have a discussion. Okay. Now, being that there's no one else that's going to opine, I'm going to stop to wrap this up. I will say this, that I really do appreciate all the love, all the support, all of you have given me. And now I am on a mission. What is my mission? To reach 400 subs before the end of June, which breaks down to 16 subs in April, 16 subs in May, and 16 subs in June. Because right now I have 353. So I think I can reach 400 by the end of June. So of course, I would encourage all of you, if you have not done so, please consider subscribing to Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, and of course, set the notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or to catch it on the playback. So with that being said, um, you're more than welcome to enter your comments in the chat. After the stream is over, I do ask people, please be respectable, because if you're not, your comments will be deleted. It is that simple. Because contrary to what some people think, I'm trying to maintain a safe space for everyone to share their point of view. So, with that being said, and I think I'm going to be doing my streams more often using my tablet. And of course, I cannot share screens with a tablet, so that's a bit of a challenge. But in any case, I want to say thank you very much for all those who either catch it live, either in the crowds or in the chat. Thank you, Keisha, for appearing on the panel. So, and of course, I will close by saying what we always say here. We must do everything possible to minimize our the influence of the mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, saying good night, take care, be the best version of yourself, and peace.